Good evening, one and all. In today's lecture, we'll start with an example and then we'll move on further. Okay, so this is an example program in which there is a single class and the name of the class is demo static because I want to show you all a demonstration of static variables. Okay, we have seen static functions. Static functions, if they are static, if the function or method is static, then without creating an object of that class, we can call that particular function. Even creating an object we can call, but creating an object is optional. Okay, without creating an object you can call the function. Using the object also you can call the function for static functions. But if the function is non-static, means if the function is not static, then you have to compulsorily create an object, and using that object means object dot method name. You have to call the method using that object. Now what about static variables? Okay, so static variables, suppose a is a variable. Now this is a variable which I've defined inside my demo static class. Okay, this is the variable inside my demo static class, and this is one function which is again inside my demo static class. So this is called variable, or what is it called? If it is a inside the class, this variable, what is it called? Can you tell me? We have seen that last time. It is called as a field or a state. Okay, this is a field or a state. A is a field or a state, or you can say data member. Actually, it is a variable only. And this is called as a behavior or a method. Okay, so this is our user defined function, and we compulsorily need a main function inside our class, right? In every class, one main function is compulsory because execution will start from the main. So first of all, you know that A is not static. So can we access it directly using class name? Can you tell me? Can we access it directly without creating object? We need to create an object, okay, because it is not static. If this was static, then we can access it without an object also. But since this is not static, we have to create an object. Since it is not static, I have created an object. Okay, if it was static, then directly we can access. Just a minute. So see here, this is not static. If it is not static, then we have to create object. So if I directly try to access A, means I'm printing the value of A, it is highlighting an error. That means it is showing in red color. Okay, and it is telling cannot reference from static context. Means since it is not static, I cannot access it directly. Suppose I make this static. Okay, suppose I've made this static. As you can see, the error has gone. So is this much clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, and please keep revising all these concepts, because within a few days we'll reach to a level where you may have to remember all these concepts. Okay, so it's, you cannot do without revising all these things. So please revise. Object oriented programming is very much helpful. Okay, so this is static. Now I'm removing this because I want to show you something. So this is not valid, so I'll comment this out now. So I have created an object called obj1. Now using this obj1, I'm going to call a method. And now pay attention what I'm saying. I'll ask you questions also. The method that I'm calling from my obj1 is get A. Okay, and then set A, and again something. For now, suppose I'm calling only set A function. Okay, so let us see what I have defined inside set A, means this function. I'm saying, just a minute. Where is it? Okay, so here what I've done, Initially my variable is there, field, it is 10. That same A, this is okay. This A and this A is same. Okay. So this, we can access this A over here. This A I am telling it as 12. So when I print out the value of A using this println, the value should be 12, right? Or will it be 10? Can you tell me? It will be 10 or 12?
Well,
Okay. Yes, 12. Right? I just now told you that this A and this A both are the same A. So if you are changing the value of A, the latest value of A will get displayed, right? So this was set A function. Okay. So did you observe that I cannot access this A variable directly over here, right? When I was trying to print A over here directly, it is showing me error because it is not static. So I cannot directly access A. I can access A only using the object, right? So one way that we saw was using a function. Inside that function, I will access the A variable and then I can print it, suppose. Okay, so using the function, I'm accessing A outside my, means over here. Okay, another way is if I write obj1 over here. Okay, see, as I said, what is the fact that you have to use object name in order to access something which is not static, right? So either obj1.a or you put that A inside a function and call that function. Now similarly, I am saying obj1.setA. I am using the object to call this setA function or method. Why, can you tell me? Can I do it without creating object? Yes or no? Have you understood this? Do you want me to repeat? At least tell me that much.
please repeat it.
Hmm. So as I said, if your method or if your data member or variable is not static, we have already seen this. So I was expecting an answer. However, since it is not static, what we have to do? We have to always create an object. I'll write it down also for you. See here. If non-static data member, that is your field, or non-static method. If these are the two cases, then you have to create object to access them. Okay, you have to create an object to access them. Suppose you do not create an object. That will be if it is static, static data member or static method. In this case, if it is static, optional to create, optional to create an object to access. Okay, now will you remember it? If you want to access something which is non-static, either variable or method, then create object compulsorily. Okay, this is compulsory. But if you are using something, if you want to access something which is static, then what you will do? You have to create an object, but it is optional. Okay, optional to create. You can directly use, you can directly print A, or you can directly call the function. Okay, it is optional to use the object. Now is it clear for everyone?
Yes, clear.
What about others?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now please remember this. Okay, okay, so now tell me, set A, can I call it using the object or without using the object? Or what should I do?
Using object.
Object is necessary.
Okay, so object is necessary because this is not static. Object is necessary. So that is why I have created the object and then object dot set A. Okay, so here the value of A that we were getting was 12. Okay, now let us see something else also. Now another function get a. What this get a does, it will simply print out the value of a. Okay, in set a what we are doing, we are changing the value of a and then printing it. In get a what we are doing, we are simply printing the value of a using this get a function. So first of all, get a I'm doing. Okay, so what will get called? Get a function. So see here carefully, I have created the object and then get a. Till now I have not called set a, I have only called get a. That means this much will run, this will get executed. So according to this, what value of a will get printed? Can you tell me?
10.
Exactly, very good. It will print 10. Okay, so here I'll write, when I call this function, value of a is 10. Now I'm calling set a. So something is done here and then I'm printing the value of a. Now which value of a will get printed? Can you tell me?
12.
Yes, 12. Okay, very good. So here I'll write 12. By this we are getting 12. Now again I'm saying get a. So again this will get executed. Now which value of a will get printed? Can you tell me?
10.
10.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying 10. But as I said, this a and this a is same. A has changed to 12 and that same a is this also. Then how will it be 10? A has changed to 12, right? It was 10 and then I used get a. So get a told me a is 10. Then I called set a. What did set a do? It changed the value of a to 12. Now again I'm calling get a. What will it print? A is equal to 12. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so be careful that which function in which order you are calling, that matters in such an example. Okay, so here get a will print 12. Now I'm calling another function make change. Okay, I'm calling another function make change. And in this function, I'm doing something and then printing the value of a. Now can you tell me what will be the value of a?
14.
Okay, 14. Okay, I'll write it here. Now again I wish to call get a function. Now I'm calling get a, this one. Can you tell me what will be the value of a now?
14. 12.
14. Make change we have called it, right? We have called make change. What did make change do? Make change made the value to change to 14. A became 14. Now if I call get a, it will print 14. This a, this a, this a, this a, all these a's are same. Okay, so whatever you write here is your data member, is your field, is your state of the class, and that same a can be accessed in all the functions. So any one function does some change to a, it will be reflected for other functions also. Means indirectly we can say it is reflected throughout the class definition. Now is it clear for everyone?
Yes, yes. Yes.
What
Yes, sir.
about others? Okay. What about others? There are 26 people,
Yes.
including me.
The change in A will be accessed, that means reflected only if we call the function.
Yes, yes, because that function is changing the value of a. In make change, we are changing the value of a. If I do not call make change, then a will never become 14. It will remain the previous value only, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I hope this much is clear. Now, this was our normal A. A is not static, okay? A is not static. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to create another object. As I told you, one class can have many objects. So I'm creating obj2 now, okay? And using obj2, and as I told you, see this example last time which we have seen, we had created two objects, P1 and P2. Okay, and then we checked for P1 equal to P2, and this gave false. Means what? Though everything may be same, both the objects are never the same. Means they don't mean the same things. Though everything, the parameters that you pass 0, 1, everything is same, but they are not the same objects, they are different objects. Okay, they are simply using the class, they are different. Okay, they belong to the same class but they are different. Now object 2 I have created and I'm saying get a. Using object 2 I'm going to do get a. So now tell me, using object 2, just a minute, using object 2 I'm doing get a. Okay, I'm doing get a. Now what will be the value of a?
10.
Okay, any other answer? Acha, at least tell me, do you agree with him? Do you don't agree with him?
Yes, 10.
Okay, so it is 10. Okay, very good. As I said, object 2 just now you have created, and just now first function that you have called using object 2 is get a. So all that you did using object 1, that is only for object 1. Using object 2, what you're doing, get a. That means this is the first thing that you're calling. And a is what? 10 only. We have not called any other function. Directly first what we have called get a. So a equal to 10 will get displayed. Okay, so very good. Sonali and who else had answered 10? Can you tell me your name?
Abhishek.
Okay, very good. Abhishek also. Okay. Now a is 10 by this statement. Okay, similarly, you can perform set a, get a, make change, get a for object 2 also. I hope you'll understand. Same thing for object 1. You can do all these function calls for object 2 also. Okay. Now, if I make a as static, so now we saw that whatever variables and methods are there, they are specific to their respective object. For object 1, they have their own a and set a, get a and all. For object 2, it has its own a, set a, get a and all that. Now, if I make a as static, okay, now carefully understand, a is static variable. Now I'm creating object 1 and I'm calling get a. Okay, I have created only object 1 now and I'm calling get a. And here a is 10. So get a, what it will print, can you tell me?
10.
Yes, it will print 10. Okay, it will print 10. Now similarly, I will call set a. Okay, now what it will print a value, what will be the value of a?
12.
Exactly, 12. Very good. Now see, okay, so get a, set a is done for object 1. Now I want to create object 2. I have created it. And now for this object 2, I will call get a. Okay, till now what we have done using object 1 has displayed using get a, what it has displayed, a equal to 10. Object 1 using set a has displayed a is equal to 12. Now object 2 using get a, what it should display as per our previous discussion, what it should display for object 2. For object 2,
10.
yes, okay, as per our previous discussion, it should print 10, but it will not do that. Okay, first I'll show you, I'll run this and show you. See, 10 as you told me for object 1 get a, then 12 as you told me for set a of object 1. But for object 2 get a, you told me 10 as per our previous discussion, but it is printing 12. Now why it is doing that, we will see. So those who are joining late, kindly see the recording because a very important topic we are discussing. So a, I have made it as static. Okay, that is the reason whatever change was done to a using object 1, whatever change was done to a using object 1 and object 1's functions, those will get reflected to object 2 as well. I repeat, if a is static, then whatever changes are done to a using object 1, that same change will be for object 2 also, for the a of object 2. Is this statement clear for everyone?
Please repeat it again.
Okay, I was saying that using object 1, what we did, get a printed 10. Then we use set a. What did set a do? It changed the value of a to 12 and a value was printed as 12. Okay, object 1 we have finished now. Now I created object 2 and then I'm applying get a function. Okay, for object 2 is a new object, I'm applying get a, so it will print 10 only. Okay, as per our previous discussion when a was not static, so it will print 10. But when a is static, whatever changes were done to A using object 1, that will be carried forward to object 2 as well. That is why when you call get A on object 2, we called get A, right? So it simply prints the value of A. But since finally using object 1, what our A had become? Our A had become 12 for object 1. That same 12 value will be carried forward for A using object 2. That is why for object 2, when you call get A, it is printing that A value as 12. Whatever changes were done to A using object 1, that same changed value will be applied to object 2 ka A also. So A of object 2 is also 12. The changes are carried forward. Whatever changes done using one object, that will be reflected for some other object also of the same class. Now is it clear?
Yes, yes, clear.
So basically, we are changing the value of A for whole class itself.
Yes. So that is what another feature of static. So one feature is what? If it is static, without creating object, we can access. Another feature of static, the same variable is shared by all the objects. Okay, this is the way, means this is the technical meaning of it. The same
Okay.
variable A is shared for all the objects. So if one object will do a change, suppose obj1 is doing the change, same thing will be for obj100 as well. Whatever is the object, but it should be of the same class. Okay, so there are some points of static variables, that it is shared by all the objects. Only one copy of that variable is created for the entire class and for the entire set of objects. Then you can call it without the object, means object creation is optional. Okay. Then another thing is uh, only one variable will be created. Not that A is 12 for means what I mean to say is you have two objects, suppose obj1 and obj2. So for obj1, A is there, and for obj2 also A is there. It is not like this. Okay, means for both A is not there. There is only a single A. Okay, and the same A obj1 will access, and the same A obj2 will also access. It is not that A is for obj1 and A is for obj2. So it is not that two variables are there. No, there is only one variable, which is, since it is static. So static A is only once it is present in the memory, and that same static A, both the objects are accessing. This same A is present only once. Obj1 will also access this A only. Obj2 will access this A only. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so finally this topic is done. Okay, so static variables. So it has certain applications, right? If you want to keep it common for all the objects, for example, you have a single teacher in the class, and that single teacher has to teach 54 students. So it is not that uh, the teacher will teach one by one each student or something like that. That same teacher is shared by all the students. Okay, so such applications, I'm giving you examples. Is it understandable? Are you understanding the similarity?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for understanding. Okay. So now let us go ahead. Okay. So, and since A is static, as I said, no need of object, means object is optional. So let us try that also. So I'll just keep one object. I've created obj1. Okay. Now, see here, obj2.get. It is because I've commented obj2, right? So I have to change this to obj1. Okay, so only obj1 is there, consider. Now using obj1, I'm accessing get A. Okay, if I want to access get A like that only, then this has to be a static function. Okay, now how different ways you can use to print A. Since A is static, either use object, means object is optional, or you can also do without the object, right? So I'll remove this object. Okay, so no error means it is working. You can also do it this way. You can also use the class name. Okay, so three ways are there. Directly you can access A using the object and using the class name. Okay, So I'll run this program also. See, all the places you're getting the value of a, no error. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So object is optional because using class name also you can access, directly also you can access. Okay, so this was, yes,
Sir, if it's
any doubt?
sir, if it is not static, then also we can use the class name to access that A, right?
Let us try. I don't think so, as far as I remember. Let us see. No, you cannot access. Okay. Class
Okay.
name you can use only if it is static. Okay. Yeah. So now let us get back to a different concept. Okay. So this was within a single class, we were doing everything. Within a single class, you have your main, you have your functions, you have your objects within the main, then you have your data fields also. Okay. So this is not the real-time scenario. In real life or in different applications, you always have number of classes. So object-oriented programming, it can be used to map the code instructions with the real-world examples. I've given you so many real-world examples till now. Solving a problem using the objects concept. Okay, it is a popular approach. For example, a class is a blueprint of objects for the objects. Like there's a single JEE application form, and that same form is filled by number of students. Okay, just another example. Memory is allocated only after the object creation. Means what? The class, you have defined everything. Inside the class, there are data fields, there are methods, but they are not, they are meaningless if they do not have an object associated with them. Okay, means if they are non-static, you definitely need an object, right? Without an object, you cannot do. So unless you create an object, the memory will not be allocated for those variables. Okay, if they are non-static, then you have to create object. So only if you create the object, the memory will be allocated for those variables. Means after creating object, the A will be stored in the memory. Okay, but if they are static, then without object also you can access A. So A has to be stored in memory if it is static, but it will be stored only in memory if it is non-static. It will be stored in memory only after creating object. Okay, if it is static, it will be stored in memory directly, but if it is non-static, then after creating the object only, it will be stored in memory. That is one more point. Then, so this is related to some grammar, like noun is nothing but class, adjectives are like your attributes, and actions or verbs are methods. Okay, then abstraction, encapsulation, and these are some topics. Okay, so every object-oriented programming style or paradigm, or the way of writing, if it is object-oriented style, then some features that program has. For example, that program has a feature called as abstract. Let us start with encapsulation. That program has encapsulation. So there are four features, basic features: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Encapsulation means wrapping the code and data together inside a single unit. For example, till now we have been already doing encapsulation. How? We are using class, and inside the class, we are combining the data. Data means what? Your variables or your data fields. That is your data members. And we are combining it with what? Methods. And in the method, your actual code is there, right? Variables, right? They are the code. They are a part of code. But here, code means it is indicating the methods that you use to manipulate the data, right? Using get A and set A, what we were doing, we were changing the value of A. So using the methods, we can manipulate the data which you have defined in your class. So using the class, we can combine or encapsulate the data along with the methods. That is the meaning of encapsulation, combining, storing under a single unit called as class. So you might have seen such capsules, right? Some tablets come in this form, right? Have you seen such tablets, pills, capsules? Have you seen them?
Yes.
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 No?
Yes, sir.
You have not seen such capsules anywhere? Okay, that's
See, see.
strange actually. So actually it is representing the tablets that we take inside our mouth. Those tablets these are. So we can encapsulate. I'm audible, right? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you are
Prahlad, am I
audible.
audible?
Yes, you are audible. Are we audible to you?
I can't. Okay, just a minute. I think so. I can't hear you all. I'll just a minute. Now am I audible? Hello. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
have you all seen those capsules
Yes.
I was asking? Have you all seen something like this?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's why I was thinking
Yes.
why you all have not seen it. Okay. So similarly, inside this your capsule is your class, and inside that you have variables and methods. Okay, so similar to this. Similarly, abstraction is a concept. Now there are two concepts. One is abstraction and one is called as hiding. Okay, so abstraction means you are going to show only the essential features, whatever is important, whatever the user needs, the functionality you will provide him. Okay, for example, ATM machine, what it will do, it will help you to store the money, it will help you to withdraw the money, only that much. But do you know what code is written inside the ATM machine to do it? Is that revealed to you by the machine?
No.
Yes, so that is the meaning of abstraction. Okay, only what is necessary for you is given to you. That is the meaning of abstraction. So hiding the internal details and showing only the necessary things is called as abstraction, and that is very much needed, right? For example, if you create your account on any website, they will only give you that interface, like enter your name, enter your date of birth, all that, and then they'll create the account. You do not know what code is used by them to create your account. Otherwise, if you know the code, you will change the code and then you will do something wrong, right? That to secure the application, they are using this abstraction concept. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay. Yes. So next is hiding. As I was saying, hiding means it is similar to abstraction. Okay. Abstraction means what? Actually hiding the private data from the public users. Okay. And abstraction means hiding the implementation details. Abstraction means hiding the implementation. The implementation is hidden. And hiding means hiding private data, hiding the sensitive data. So private data is hidden. Okay, so the meaning is similar, but actually it is slight different. Abstraction means hiding the code, hiding the implementation details, and hiding means hiding the important data. Okay, then we have inheritance. Inheritance means you're inheriting some properties from your parents, right? Means, for example, if your parents are good at, suppose, gardening, then it is possible that even you are good at gardening. Or maybe your parents they like to have ice cream, then it is possible that you may also like to have ice cream. So the characteristics are passed on generation by generation. So that is what we are going to do in inheritance. We will create one class, class A. We will do all the coding over here. We'll write the data members, methods, and all. And then we'll create another class B. And we will use the characteristics of class A inside class B. Means we are going to derive class B from class A. Okay. And by diagrams, if you want to show this, this is the way. Class A, class B, and class B is getting the characteristics from class A. So you'll show this upward arrow. Okay. Using a diagram, this is how to show inheritance. So here there's one other diagram also. Parents are giving their characteristics to their children. Is this much clear? Inheritance, what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's an important feature that this will help to reduce your effort. How? whatever things you have written in A, you don't have to rewrite it if you're creating B, right? Once you create A, those same things you can use inside B. The same things you don't have to write again inside B. So it is reusable code, and that is what is required. Okay, another example I can give you is, you have two tables in which you have your details like name, date of birth, age, and all that. In another table, also you have the same details, name, age, date of birth. The only thing is, this table is being used at home, means by your parents, to keep a track of the details of their children. This is used at home. And this second table is used at school because you're a student of that school, to keep a track of your name, age, and all. Why? Use the same table both at home and both at school. So this is how you can reduce your code complexity. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Another thing is, another feature, one is reusability. Another feature is, the same thing can act in different ways, right? For example, this table 1 is representing you at home, and the same table will represent you at school. So the same thing can have different behaviors. That is what I want to say. Or it can be used at different places. Maybe with some small changes also we can do it. So that is the next thing that we are studying, is polymorphism. The same thing can exist in multiple forms or in multiple ways. So inheritance will allow us to use polymorphism in our program. Okay, so can you think of an example that we have already seen in our programming where something is acting differently in two different places? For example, I'll give you a hint. We have seen a particular operator which is acting, means it is acting in some way in one case. In case 1, it is acting some in one way, and in case 2, it is acting in some different way. Can you guess which operator I'm talking about?
minus equal to
Can you give me an example which cases can be for
A
minus?
minus equal to B or anything else.
Okay, anyone else can give a try?
Addition operator, like if you do mathematical operation, then plus sign can be used for adding two numbers, and for adding matlab, for concatenating two strings we use plus sign. So in these two cases we have two applications of it.
Exactly. This is the answer that I was expecting. Okay, good try, both of you all. So the same plus operator, just by changing something, what we are changing, actually we are changing the data type. Okay, so integer and integer, if we use plus between them, we'll get the addition. But if it is string and string, we are getting the combination or concatenation. Okay, so same plus can act in different ways. Another example, at home you may have some different personality, at school you may have some different personality. At home you may behave in different ways, and in school you may behave in different ways. So same, the person is same, but you have different personalities, you have many faces, right? And this is true for most of the people. Okay, so this is another example. So that same example which you have given me, C equal to A plus B, and here first name and last name we are concatenating. Okay, now some more examples, like abstraction is what? Hiding the internal details. Your cell phones, you can display the date, time, you can make a call, you can have video calling, you can see YouTube on your phone. But do you know what code is implemented behind? No. So this is another example of abstraction. Encapsulation, another example is, inside your laptop you'll have Wi-Fi feature, you have speakers, you have a hard disk, you have your keyboard to type, you have your monitor to see. So many things inside the laptop. So again, this is an example of putting things together, like data and methods inside a class, that different things inside your laptop. Okay. Then inheritance, another example. Suppose you have a rickshaw, okay, and you want to, means, and an e-rickshaw. So the e-rickshaw will also have the facilities which are inside a rickshaw and some other facilities of its own. That means e-rickshaw has to be derived from rickshaw, and e-rickshaw can have its own facilities as well. Similarly, your traditional phones, olden phones, and your smartphones. whatever you could do with your phone can be done with your smartphone also. Means characteristics of previous generation are coming into the next generation. Polymorphism is what your smartphone, it can act as a phone to call someone, as well as you can use the calculator on your smartphone. So same thing has different applications. Okay, so I've given you so many examples. Is this much clear, all these 4 features?
Yes, clear.
Okay. And we have already seen how to write a class, right? Now, it is not compulsory that you have to have data and functions inside your class. You may have only data, for example, this one, or you may have only functions without any data members. That is also possible. Not necessary both. Any one is also okay. Okay, for example, here we have the data member, these two, as well as the functions. You may have only the functions also. Okay, that is what I said. Okay. So any doubts still now here, you can ask me. However, I explained it to you. Was it understandable? Did you enjoy whatever I said till now?
Yes.
Yes, you
Yes.
understood.
Okay. Now, this is done. Now let us get to some programs. So here you have, I think, 2 classes. Yes, you have 2 classes. Okay, not this one, not this one, this one. Here you have 2 classes. Yes, this is class 1 and this is class 2. Okay, now I've mentioned this in the previous lecture. Let me see who remembers it. You have 2 classes, right? So where can I give public and where I cannot give public? Can you just tell me if you remember?
If that content we have to access throughout the program, then we should give it public.
Right. Actually, I have not yet explained this concept, but I mean to say where you'll get an error, where you won't get an error. Okay, no problem. What you said is correct, but I wanted the answer that if my class has this name, JTOps1, and this file name is this one, and the class name is also that. Okay, in such a case, public is optional. If I remove public, no error. If I give public, then also no error. But if the class name is not the file name, they are both different, then if I give public here, it should give me an error, as you can see. That means public can be used if the class name and the file name is same, and there also it is optional. But if the class name is different compared to the file name, you cannot use public. If the class name is different, you cannot use public. Okay, means where you'll get an error, that answer I wanted. But what you said is right. Okay, we'll come to that also. Now, in this class, okay, so now what I'm going to do, from one class, I'll access another class. Means inside this JTOOps1, this class, I have a main method. Okay, and inside this method, I will write some code so that I can access whatever I have written inside this employee class. Okay, so classes are communicating. So in class employee, you have an ID, you have a name, and you have salary. Salary can be float also. And you have a method, only you have 2 methods. One is print details and other is get salary. So print details will simply print the ID and name, and salary will simply return the salary. So since it is returning, will void data type work over here? Can you tell me? If I write void here, will it work?
No.
Yes. In place of int, if I write void, will it work?
No, sir.
Am I audible?
No, it will not work.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, you are
Please
audible.
reply.
Yes, you are audible.
Am I audible? Then why aren't you replying?
Hello.
Is it clear till now?
Yes.
Hello. Please unmute. Someone please unmute yourself.
Yes, you are
I
audible.
don't want chats. Someone unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello. I can't hear you all.
Hello.
You are audible.
Okay, 1 minute. Give me. I think there's some problem. Now am I audible? Someone please unmute.
Yes.
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 Yes, you are audible.
Okay. I don't know why it's giving a problem today. Anyways. Okay, so you understood, right? Here you have employee class and you have another class. Is it clear till here?
Yes.
Okay. So this print details will simply print the ID and name, and this salary will return the salary somewhere. So here ID and name. Okay. So let us see what we are doing in our main function. In our main, I have written this one statement. It will print this is oops tutorial. Okay. And I'm going to create two objects. But these objects, are they of JT oops class or are they of employee class? Can you tell me these two objects?
Employee class.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because class name is employee.
Okay, correct. Okay. So by this class name and here also it is employee. So it is employee class ka object. Now using this object, which is of the employee class, outside the class, right? This class is outside the employee class. That means from outside employee class, I want to store the values inside the data members of the employee class. Is this scenario clear? From outside the class, I want to assign values to the members of employee class. Is this scenario clear?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yeah, please reply, because in your third year, you'll have some trainings, and there if you don't reply, they directly end the lecture. You know that? Okay, so here you have created the objects. Using this object, I'm going to store the values inside the members of employee class. So Nitesh is one object. So that object will also have the different parts like ID, name, and salary. So using that object, you will store some values. So the way to do it is you'll write the object name dot the data member name. Just like how we are calling the functions object dot the function name. Similarly, object dot the data member's name. And then we are storing some values in that using this assignment operator. Same way, I'm creating another object of employee class, that is Rohan, and Rohan will also have his ID, name, salary. So there also Rohan dot data member, and we are storing the values. Okay, so when I now using Nitesh, if I call the print details using Nitesh object, if I call the print details for the Nitesh, then can you tell me what will get displayed? What the print details is doing? ID and name it is printing. So what it will print, can you tell me if I use Nitesh as the object?
15 and Nitesh Karmakar.
Right. Okay. So whatever you did using Nitesh, that only you'll get. Similarly for Rohan, what details you'll get, can you tell me?
ID will be 17 and name Rohan Kumar.
Exactly. Okay. So this is what you'll get. Now there's another get salary. So how this will work is you're going to return the salary. Okay. So see this flow of the program. Okay. Suppose I consider Nitesh. So I've declared the variable for Nitish, means in the employee class I've declared the variable string name. Name is declared. Now for that for the Nitish, using this is called dot operator. For Nitish, I'm storing the details of salary, that is 30. Okay, I'm storing the value 30 inside the salary for Nitish. Okay, so first I declared in my class, then I came outside, I stored the value. This value 30 will go and get stored inside salary. Okay, so now salary has been initialized. Okay, indirectly using all this what I said, salary has been initialized. So now this return salary, this salary that I've written here, what will be the value of this salary here? What will be the value of salary here?
$30.
Yes, it will be 30. So here again, salary is 30. And this salary is getting returned where? It is getting returned wherever I'm calling the get salary function. Where I'm calling get salary function? Here. So in place of this call, in place of this function call, the salary 30 will come. And we are going to print that 30 using system.out.println. Is the flow of this program correct? Is it understood by everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, tell me one thing. Do you all know all these concepts already? And that is why you're getting bored or something like that? Or do you want me to explain all this? What is it?
Explain.
What about others? Do you all already know these concepts? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
No.
We have been introduced to these.
Okay, so like does the major means do you want me to do it or no? If you already know it, then we can move ahead. What does the majority say? Do you want me to do it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Please
sir,
explain.
explain it.
Okay. Okay, so this was the flow of the program. Now similarly, we have accessed the salary. Okay, now the salary is over here, as you can see. Sorry, the salary is this object. Okay, using this object, Nitish, I'm going to access. As you can see, I'm not getting any error as of now. Okay, so that is because I have not specified the, what you say, the scope or the accessibility. If I don't specify anything here, that it means default is the access modifier. Okay, it is called an access modifier. Default means this variable will be accessible throughout your package. Packages comp.company package. Throughout the variable, throughout the package, it is accessible. If I don't specify anything. If I specify what I'll have to specify for this, I'll have to specify default. If I want this name to be accessible throughout the package. Okay. But suppose I make this private. Okay. This name is now private. Now, if I go to access it outside the employee class, name is what? It is inside the employee class. And if I go to access it outside the employee class, outside means outside or maybe inside some other class. Okay, outside the class means anywhere outside. It may be anywhere outside. Then it is giving me error, as you can see. It is highlighted red here also. Right, because it is private. This name is accessible only inside employee class. Suppose I make this public. It means that this name is accessible throughout this program within this file. This whole file, within this whole file, this is accessible. This, if it is public. If it is private, where is it accessible? Can you tell me? Just now I told you this. If it is private, till where is it accessible? This name?
Within that class.
Yes. So if I want to increase it to within this file, I have to give public. If I want to increase it throughout this package, default. There is another thing called as protected, and that is used in inheritance, because we know that one class can share the characteristics of another class in inheritance. That time we use protected. That time I'll show you. So are these modifiers clear for everyone? Public, private, protected, default. Till now, how much I've explained, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Yes.
Okay, so
What is the default?
default means it is accessible throughout the package. Okay, package means this com.company. If I show you my folder structure, okay, you can right click on any file here and it should show you, okay, that is in VS Code, I suppose. Okay, so I'll show you inside my system how it is stored. I'll show you. So you can see here, you have something called as SRC over here. You can see this SRC. This SRC over here, this folder is nothing but just a minute. Okay, that SRC, if you go inside that SRC, you will get com. And that com is nothing but this com that you can see. And inside that com, you have your company. That company is this com.company. Company means this company in the folder. And inside this company, you have all these files. These are all the program files. Okay, if I suppose till now which file we were seeing, this demo static we were seeing. Where is that? This one. So as you can see, this can open with Notepad also. Right, same code we have, but we are opening it using IntelliJ IDEA. So in my system, it is stored this way. So com.company, if it is the package, it means that inside com everywhere, the string will be accessible if it is default. The access modifier is default inside the com folder. Okay, that is the meaning. Is it clear what is default?
Yes.
Okay. Any other doubts you can ask me and put your attendance in the chat box. And just quickly, anyone can unmute and tell me how was today's session? Did you enjoy it? Did you understand? If you had any doubts previously, were they cleared? Or you still have doubts? Can you just, anyone can tell me?
Can you explain the program for Armstrong?
Okay. Yes, I'll do that in our next session. Okay. Any other doubts and feedback you can give me? No feedback? Can someone unmute also and tell so that it will be recorded in this video?
It was pretty good, sir.
Okay. Well, are all your doubts cleared?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else?
It was interesting, sir. Thank you for lecture.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, so I think that much only I can get. And okay, yeah, you have put your attendance in the chat box. And if you have no doubts, you can leave this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any doubts?
No.
Okay, then if no doubts, we can leave.